What's up, guys? I'm back again to bring another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. This time we're talking about Frieza's role in Dragon Ball Super Broly, as you can tell from the thumbnail and title. So Frieza is an interesting player in this movie. As we've seen in the trailers, we have Vegeta, Goku, Broly. They're all kind of doing their own thing in the future, but we have a big chunk of it set in the past. Planet Vegeta and Planet Vegeta's downfall and everything like that. We see Vegeta's father, King Vegeta. We see Broly's father, Paragus. We see Bardock. Now, one more thing we see is King Cold, and we see Frieza in the future as well. So really, this is kind of seeming to be about the four sons and the four fathers as opposed to the three Saiyans, because Frieza's involvement is like a pinnacle kind of or I should say, crucial involvement in this entire plot. As we see, it seems like the beginning of Frieza's army's kind of invasion of planet Vegeta, the taking over of the Saiyans, kind of, I'm wondering if we're going to see the revamping of their entire society to suit Frieza's army's needs and their, like, quest for galactic conquest and everything like that. We may or may not see that. I'm thinking probably not. But as we see King Cold and Frieza arrive together, so King Cold seems to be kind of passing the torch, so to speak, to Frieza. And then obviously that all leads up to Frieza destroying planet Vegeta. So, which also leads me to think, are we going to see Beerus in this past version? And are we going to see Beerus basically telling Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta? And if so, like, will Goku and Vegeta, like, will it amount to anything? Will it amount to Vegeta and Goku finding out this information? And if so, will they care? Because they've moved on from planet Vegeta and their past a long time ago. So I'm wondering what is really the purpose of having this kind of parallel with the fathers in the past and the sons in the future. I'm wondering what kind of connection that's going to have, or what kind of impact that's going to have. And this information with Beerus telling Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta, I wonder if that's going to factor into this at all. And if so, what kind of repercussions is it going to have for Beerus's relationship with Goku, if any? Because I really do feel like Vegeta and Goku shouldn't really care about Frieza destroying the planet, because they have moved on. They're leading happy lives now, and everything. And they're all the better for planet Vegeta being destroyed, to be honest. But Frieza destroying planet Vegeta, I wonder if they're going to really delve into Frieza's psyche and his decision to destroy the planet. Or if it's like all going to be Beerus. I wonder if Frieza's going to be like, nah, I won't destroy it. But, that doesn't really make sense, because Frieza is already fearful of, the Super Saiyan. He already hates Saiyans, it seems like, when he destroys planet Vegeta. But I mean, that's all to be seen in the movie. But what do you guys think? Do you think that it's all going, or mostly at least going to be Beerus telling Frieza to destroy the planet? Or do you think Frieza's basically going to come to that conclusion himself, and Beerus is going to give him the go-ahead? Or maybe they're just going to retcon that whole thing entirely and have Beerus, like, not be involved at all in that? What do you guys think? But regardless of that, it's definitely going to be interesting to see King Cold and Frieza arriving there, taking over Vegeta, and basically starting their assimilation of the Saiyans as a part of their army, and like maybe even a crucial part of their galactic conquest. And I'm wondering if they're really going to delve into that at all, because I mean, it's a movie, so they probably have limited time to really focus on certain aspects of this. So I mean, apparently Toriyama has like a 3-hour script, I've heard. So maybe he does delve a little bit deeper into Frieza and King Cold's relationship, and King Cold, like the passing of the torch. I wonder if that's going to be a part of it at all. But that will definitely be interesting if they go into that, if they have that father-son parallel with all of the sons and fathers of the passing the torch kind of stuff, so to speak. But moving on, obviously Frieza hates Saiyans. You know, we see it in the anime, we see it in the manga, and he was basically forced in the Tournament of Power to team up with them because, you know, he's dead and he wants to live and he wants to continue being Emperor Frieza and enjoying the things that he enjoys. You know, it's obvious from the Tournament of Power that he, and I mean, obviously from Dragon Ball Z too, he enjoys making people suffer. I mean, this guy is just evil to the core. And I really hope that they don't, you know, have him turn good in any way. I mean, being a reluctant ally to Goku and Vegeta is one thing, but straight up being even a neutral guy to a good guy or oftentimes teammate to the protagonist is, I feel, not a good direction to take Frieza's character in this, because one thing, it's a huge trope of the whole Dragon Ball series where past villains become good guys. You know, we have Piccolo, Vegeta's a big one, obviously, 17, I mean, just from the last Tournament of Power arc. So I feel like Frieza doing the same thing is not in his character to do so, and B, really played out. I really hope that he just stays an evil, villainous person, that maybe the protagonists say, hey, we should probably do something about this guy because he's going back to his old ways and galactic conquests and stuff. Like, are the protagonists of Dragon Ball in general, are they just going to sit around when they could be stopping all this suffering going on? Granted, they haven't really shown that much care about what happens to the overall galaxy, more so what happens to Earth in their direct vicinity. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, you know, you guys, with great power comes great responsibility, as Uncle Ben says. Are you guys just gonna sit here and let Frieza run rampant in the galaxy and take over all these planets and cause all this suffering when you could do something to stop it? And furthermore, it would be in Vegeta and Goku's interest to go after Frieza for just the challenge itself. Because, you know, Frieza is among their tier of power, you know. But when we're talking about Frieza's power, we know how strong this guy can get with just a short amount of time of training. So it's extremely dangerous to leave this guy alone for too long, because he could just come back to Earth and boom, revenge. 4 months later, he'll get thousands of times stronger. You know what I'm saying? So, which leads me to wonder, is this set immediately after the Tournament of Power? If so, then okay, fine. That makes sense as to why Frieza wouldn't be that much stronger, you know? But if this is set months down the road, there is no reason why Frieza should be stronger than both Goku and Vegeta. Unless they have some sort of like cockamamie explanation like, oh, I've used up all my growth potential. Now when I train, I don't get as many gains as I used to. Which is like, okay, that's just kind of cheap. You cheaply powered him up in the Resurrection F arc, which was terrible. And, you know, Frieza's power up to me is just like a brown stain on the tidy whities that is Dragon Ball Super. And now you're going to have some sort of cockamamie explanation saying why he can't get at least close to those same kind of gains that he used to and should have. Because the explanation is that he has a lot of potential and he's a prodigy, you know? So, I mean, I really hope this is set directly after the Tournament of Power so as not to have that little, you know, elephant in the room as to why Frieza's not stronger than Goku and Vegeta. But that definitely adds another element of possible tension that they could have. You know, Goku and Vegeta are off doing their own thing, doing their training, whatever. Frieza's trying to get his empire in shape, which could be another explanation as to why he's not training. He's too busy getting his empire into shape or whatever. But I do feel that that's an interesting element and finally kind of has a potential to add a little bit more of a reason to bring Frieza back to the dead at the beginning of the universe survival arc. So now we have this, you know, forefather, foreson dynamic kind of thing going on. And as for the actual movie, we see Frieza fighting in this lava area, and I'm thinking that that's the beginning of the movie. Like maybe his empire has some intel on another Saiyan that survived his destruction of the species. So they go off to check him out, and it turns out that, oh, it's Broly, and even Frieza going into his golden state isn't enough. Like it's going to be some sort of thing where Frieza goes to investigate these possible two surviving Saiyans, and then Broly's obviously there and just kicks the crap out of Frieza, but we don't like see that whole fight. We see Broly like starting to get the upper hand on Frieza, and obviously that's what we see in that trailer when he's fighting Final Form Frieza in that volcanic area. Now, you could make the connection that's with where Bulma was too, on Earth, and that's like not the beginning of the movie, but I'm thinking it's a separate area. Maybe it's not, whatever. But he defeats Frieza, but we don't see that entire thing. And then later on, we see Broly's full power when he unleashes it against Goku and Vegeta. Alternatively, Frieza goes there to investigate the two Saiyans and sees, you know, how powerful Broly is, but obviously Frieza hates Saiyans and he goes there to kill them. But then he sees, oh man, like this Broly thing, because he says his power is magnificent in the trailer. And I'm like, why would you be saying that you hate Saiyans and you want to exterminate them? And he sounded like he was like, man, this power, I like this power, or whatever. But then he sees Paragus and he has control of Broly with that neck brace thing or whatever. And he thinks to himself, I could use this in my revenge against Goku and Vegeta, because he obviously still has hatred for these guys, and I don't think he will ever not have hatred for these guys, and I hope that he doesn't get over it, because I feel like that's like a critical part of his character. He can change as time goes on, but I feel like that part of his character should remain the same. But as I was saying, he wants to use Broly's power in his revenge, and that's when they go to Earth from that ship that we see that Paragus and Broly, are in or coming from at the ice place when Broly goes and fights Vegeta. And so essentially Frieza goes, recruits Broly because Paragus has that controlling device on him. He's like, okay, I'm going to use this guy's power in my revenge. Of course, who knows? Maybe he just defeats Frieza, leaves him on that planet, and then they steal a spaceship and then go to Earth for some reason. But maybe that's how they get to Earth, is what I'm saying, is that Frieza takes them to Earth for his revenge. Although he could just train for 4 months, let's be honest. But obviously, what do you guys think? I think that encapsulates my thoughts on Frieza and Dragon Ball Super Broly. Obviously, let me know what you think in the comments below. If I'm missing any information, let me know. But I guess that's my thoughts. As always, thank you very much for watching this discussion, and take it easy.